Hello, I'm Andrew Nichols. This is CBC News Network. We're tracking a developing story from Alberta. Premier Danielle Smith is the latest addition to a growing list of recall petitions against members of the Alberta government. Over a dozen United Conservative Party MLAs and one New Democrat have recall petitions approved against them. The CBC's Hilary Johnstone leads our coverage this hour. And Hilary, this is really quite a growing list.
It's a growing list. By my count, there are now at least 18 UCP members who are on this list, including Premier Danielle Smith, who, remember, is also the MLA for Brooks Medicine Hat in Alberta. That number now makes up about one-third, even more than one-third of that UCP caucus, Now, remember that there's also a New Democrat MLA on that list as well. The reasons given by these petitioners who have brought these recall petitions forward that have now been approved by Elections Alberta, varying reasons, they say, for why they want to see these petitions. In some cases, they say that the government's use of the notwithstanding clause is the reason why they have brought these forward. In other cases, in particular for the petitioner from Brooks Medicine Hat, who has now launched this recall petition for MLA Danielle Smith, who, of course, is also the premier. She says, according to this petitioner, that Danielle Smith does not live in that area and is not listening to the concerns of people who live in that area. So here's a little bit of what that petitioner told our colleagues at Radio Canada about a week ago.
When I talk to the people that live in my community, they tell me that they can't get a hold of her, that it's often frustrating, that her office is always closed. When I walk by her office, often in the summer, it was always closed. When people reach out, that her staff are often unfriendly and unhelpful. It's frustrating because we're not feeling like we're being heard.
Now, this recall petition process, it is lengthy. And as part of all of this, the members that are facing these recall petitions, they do have the ability to respond within a period of time. And those responses are then posted on the Elections Alberta website. Danielle Smith has responded, in which she has laid out a number of things that she says she has accomplished on behalf of people who live in Brooks Medicine Hat. And she also says that she regularly holds town halls, sort of trying to push back on this notion that we just heard there from Heather Vansnick, that Danielle Smith has not made herself available to people in that area.
So what happens next?
It is a long process. So now that these recall petitions, now that they have been approved by Elections Alberta, now what has to happen is these petitioners now have to go out, along with the help of canvassers who live in these particular areas, and they need to collect signatures. And they need at least 60% of the number of total votes that had been cast in a particular area during the most recent election. So for Danielle Smith's Brooks Medicine Hat area, for example, according to the numbers on Elections Alberta website, they would need more than 12,000 signatures in order to meet the threshold where you would then have a vote. Only a simple majority is needed in that vote to then trigger a by-election. So that is how this process would go. So this does not mean that Danielle Smith is being removed as the MLA. There are still a lot of things that need to happen. For its part, the United Conservative Party has released a statement through a spokesperson saying that they think that this process is being politicized. And they say this, quote, "The recall process should not be used to overturn democratic elections just because an individual disagrees with government policy. Recalls are meant to address breaches of trust, serious misconduct, or a sustained failure to represent constituents, not political disagreements."
Hilary, thank you. The CBC's Hilary Johnstone.